Hello, everyone. Oh man, I never realized it's going to be this big audience here. But anyway, my name is Anthony Park. I'm from New York, New York City. Well, family they live in New Jersey. We immigrated to United States in 1963, and ever since I lived there. And I used to work as an underwriter for the reinsurance company nearby Wall Street in New York, downtown New York. And also, I was involved in Army Nat'l Guard in New Jersey, and I'm retired from that. But about 8 years ago, I was hooked up with a good friend of mine to be a partnership in the ocean science, ocean engineering business. Um, Ocean, that's great wide area. I mean, we have a tremendous adventure and opportunities in ocean, and I always love the ocean. I've been diving as a scuba diver since mid 80s as a hobby, but when it comes to ocean science or the ocean engineering, I had no idea because my background is finance, and I used to work as an underwriter. So I told my partners, "Well, what do you expect me to do? Don't expect me to go down really deep and look for the good sashimi, or I'm not going to be much of a help." But he needed help with someone who can administrate and manage the company and handle the finance end of it, and also handle the international affair. Uh, Simply because I have an advantage of a language over him. So I was involved, and we formed a company. And now we've been working in Korea, mainly with the Korean government. It's called 국토해양부, which is their management elements for land and ocean. And we work with the Ocean R&D, which is a research and development center down the Daejeon and Ansan and Geojedo, various different ocean projects. And we work with a lot with the Korean power company because Korea has a lot of underwater underwater cables between mainland and islands. And well, the work we done is first first big project we done is finding a Russian ship called Dmitri Donskoy that was sunk in 1905 during the Russian and Japanese war in front of Ulleungdo Island. And well, there was a big rumor that ship has 1,700 metric tons of gold. Well, that's remained to be seen. But we took a submarine down, one-man submarine down, and we found the vessel down about 875 meters down, just the handling of the cliff. And it's now that's a matter of raising it and salvaging the vessel, but they apparently have political issues between Russia and Korea. So until they resolve that, who's going to do what? Russian government want to use their own engineers, and Korean government want us to retrieve and salvage the vessel, but it got hung up on the political issues, and that's remain to be seen what happens. But that's one thing I'm not in politics, so I will leave that alone and let them worry about it, and just whether we have a job or not, then you do it. But until then, we just that's become a mystery. And then we did a lot of salvage work for the oil crew line that was sunk in 1988, and the vessel is named Gyeongsinho, which is sunk in front of Pohang. That vessel was carrying about 3,000 tons of crude oil. Apparently, they had a mechanical failure, and it sunk in about 75 or 100 meters outside of Pohang Harbor. Last year, we went down there with a Netherlands salvage company called Smiths, and what we did is we emptied all the remaining crude oil from the tanks, and we cleaned each tanks. And the way we done it was from one side, we drilled a hole to feed the chemicals and the hot waters down to loosen up the remaining oil, because it was it's down to 200 meters down. So when it's down to 200 meters down and under the water, everything gets freeze up, and the crude oil was just solid in the tank. So what we had to do is drill the hole in one side, feed the hot water and chemicals to loosen that up, and the other side of a tank, drill the holes to vacuum it or suck those remaining oil up to the barge. And we done that. It took about a few months, and we done that kind of jobs. And we do a lot of marine archaeology work. Since the Korean regulation is that anytime you have a construction inland or ocean, you have to have a archaeology survey prior to obtaining the permit for the construction. So we do a lot of archaeology work with contractors or construction companies in the offshore constructions. And unluckily, we haven't found any treasure yet, but maybe someday we might find this treasure from the Korea or a few thousand years ago. Maybe that's worth a few $1 million, but that's it, remain to be seen. And we do, well, we also do a lot of hydrographic image work. That is, since no one can see what's going on or underwater, it's just blank, so no one can see what kind of terrain there is involved or what kind of seabed condition is. So what we do is we have a special equipment that go down, and it takes the image of a seabed or a terrain of the working areas by using sometimes side scan sonar. What it is, it has a towfish, and from each side of a towfish, it puts up the ultrasound. And it goes out, it hits the terrain, and acoustics comes back, and it creates the image on the topside computers. And from the computer images, we can translate into normal language, saying this is rock, this is a tile that's a flat tile that's sunk, or this is just the mud, or we translate into normal language so that people can understand what the image is about. And sometimes we use ROV. We take ROV down. ROV is remote operated vehicle. As I forgot her name, but when I was introduced, she mentioned about the Titanic films. ROVs was used to film Titanic. What it is, it's a square box frame, and it has a camera. It has manipulating arms or mechanical arms, and it has a truss. And it's operated on the umbilical line attached to the top side of a vessel or the barge. And top side, you have a computer and controlled by joysticks. And every time you move the joysticks, that ROV moves accordingly. And video camera says that we move the ROV around. We take the pictures or videotape it, what we see through that ROV. So that's one way to capture the image of the trains and the control lines. We know what type of working areas that we're dealing with. It's either all cliff, or it's just a flat seabed, or is it all mud or rocks, whatever. And so we do that, and we are the first one to operate ROV in this country, because ROV is it could be just a small monitoring purpose size or survey size, or it could be working ROVs that could be big as a few cars put together, which costs a lot of money. But working ROVs mainly used in pipelines, offshore oil projects, and big heavy constructions. And other equipments we use is AUV, that's automatic underwater vehicles, but we don't have that many of them yet. We only have a small one because they are expensive. But those are various different equipments that we use underwater. And when we don't use the equipments, we actually have to do diving. like deep sea diving is, it's a little different than scuba diving that everybody's familiar with. Deep sea diving is, well, you could go down to, well, maximum normally about 300 meters down, but that's called a saturation diving. It's personally, I haven't done that deep, but my record is about 40 meters deep. But people who went down 230, 300 meters down they have to do saturation diving. Before you dive, you go in the chamber and you set the depths at the depths that you're going to be diving. Let's say you're going to dive at 200 meters, and you set the chamber at 200 meters, and you stay there for a few weeks. So what it does is you're forcing yourself to change your body system get used to the 200 meters pressure level. So you stay in the compression, the chamber to be compressed at the 200 meters down for a few weeks. And when you actually go down, you come out of that chamber and into the diving bell. And when you come out of the diving bell at 200 meters down, you're just like being at the first stage atmosphere, just like you and I being in this room. So you can dive all day until you get tired of it, and you don't feel any pressure of it. And then when they come up back to the surface, now they have to stay in the chamber again for same length of time, few weeks or the months, to reverse your body system so that you are familiar with that, the surface level. So that's saturation diving. And all other divings that you might hear, like technical divings and commercial divings, they use compressed air tank or rebreathers. But I don't recommend it because when you go down 10, 20 meters down, when you come up, you have to decompress yourself and at every 3 to 5 meters up. And it takes a long time. And when depending on just the air supply on your tank, you might not have enough time, or you run out of your air in middle of it. Then that's worst you could have is the running of air under the water. But in saturation diving, you are compressed and decompressed in the chamber, and the air is supplied from the surface on the top from the top side. So actually, the saturation, even though you go deeper than any other diving, but that's just safetiest diving. And that's one special diving we do. And we done that just the past last month. Last month we done that. We've been diving about a month and a half outside of Jeju for the Asiana cargo plane. They went down a few months ago. So we did some diving, and that depth was about 90 meters down, and we've retrieved a few debris that Asiana airline company asked us to do, and I'm sure you've probably seen it on the news, but that we done that. That was our last project, and this coming spring we are working with a German company called Siemens, Voice Siemens. We are installing underwater turbine power generator. Now I guess everybody's looking into alternate resources of energy, and some people are looking into windmill power supply, and certain companies are investing into underwater current turbine generator. And we are involved with one of the projects that Siemens company is doing. They have one similar system set up in North Sea, just north of Ireland. And second one is our country, the place called the Jodo, which is just outside of Jindo. That's where Admiral Lee won the battle against the Japanese fleet back in 1500s, because the current is so strong and so wicked. The current measured up to 9 knots, that's very, very strong current. And that's just the speed they need for the turbine power generating purpose. So we are installing it starting this spring. I think it's going to be February or March, but it's going to be our great adventure and working with the Siemens company, because they are well known and big company, and we are looking forward to that challenge. So all this ocean science, ocean engineering is well, now it's my romance. When today's topic is what drives you, I guess everybody have their own, the reason to be driven, or I guess everybody gets driven by money or love or most common things. But like now, what drives me is the love of the ocean, and especially now, when I look at ocean, and every time I go up in the ocean with different coworkers and the different companies, I see people just littering in the ocean without even thinking about it. For example, I've seen a few skippers of a vessel. They are making living off ocean, but yet they have no respect to the ocean. I see them, they smoke, they flip the cigarette butts into the ocean like nothing happening. And that really saddens, really, when I see that, it gets a little upset, or even really, it's sad me. Okay. And ocean is we only have one Earth, and ocean is most of our Earth is made up of water, or ocean. I say 2/3, and somebody correct me, 72% of Earth is covered by ocean. I wish people just, even the little things, let's worry about the environmental and just even the little things we do. If we think about how can we save the Earth better, make it Earth better, so that Earth will, keep it forever, so that our next generations will appreciate it, and on and on. But the way we are going, we are killing ourselves a lot faster than anyone could expect it. The scientists and environmental scientists are screaming, we're running out of time. Just look at what's going on in North Seas. It's melting, all the icebergs are melting a lot faster than anybody anticipated or predicted. Even though when we go up ocean, just to have a little respect, and I'm running out of time. And if anyone have questions about oceans and ocean engineering or science, so let me know after the session. And also, we are looking to hire any engineering major related to ocean. We are hiring. So just if you are interested, talk to me after the session. Thank you very much. Okay. Right.